Hello everyone, my name is Toma Bonciu and you can find me on tomabonciu.com. Today I want to show you a different technique of photographing landscapes, and this technique is particularly useful in forests, or can be applied much more easily and with a much more interesting effect in inside a forest. Now I have two photos over here, this one and this one, and this photo was both photos were made with a 50 millimeter lens, not the L version of the lens. So let's take a look at 100% over here. This photo was made at f8 ISO 100, and as you can see is pretty sharp for a 50 millimeter lens that is not L. And this one was made at f 1.4, and as you can see is not that sharp, but and also has a lot more chromatic aberrations than the other photo. Of course, I've already corrected the fringes or the chromatic aberrations, but shooting at f1.4 with this lens will produce a lot more of these aberrations, which are very easily to correct either by using Lightroom or the camera raw plugin from Photoshop. Now the reason for shooting these two photos on the tripod in the same position with the same focus point on the tree was to combine these two photos and to enhance the subject, and in this case is this tree with the branches. So I want to compose these two photos in order to have a better defined subject and a blurry background. Now with the move tool, holding down the shift key, I will drag this photo on top of this one over here, and I repeat, this technique works if both photos are made from exactly the same position, so you'll need the tripod for this. And on this image from the top, I add a layer mask, click on the mask, click on the brush tool, shortcut B, paint with black and opacity 100%. I start with a very soft brush, and the idea is to make this layer not visible where the tree is, so we'll have the clarity and the sharpness from this photo underneath. So let's start the painting process. It's not a difficult process. It's very easy to do, and it's also a quick one. I will use the bracket keys to make my brush size smaller, so I can start painting the edges of the tree. And also, you don't need to be 100% precise. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to do is paint on the branches, to bring back the branches and to have clarity in the branches, also the smaller ones. If you didn't saw my last video and you have photos during winter that come out with a bluish tint, and you want to correct that, and also you have photos during winter that are underexposed, that don't have that fluffiness of the snow, you can check out my previous video where I'll show you how easily is to correct these things writing camera. There is no post-processing involved. Okay. Now let's take a look on this other side of the tree. And I'm doing this using a Wacom tablet. It can be done with a mouse, but I'm used to working with a tablet, so it depends on your on your technique, on the way you like to work. I have to admit that I'm doing a quicker job than I would do if I would have to prepare this for a print, but the idea is to show you the technique, and you can then go in and do it by yourself and be very careful. As you can see, the perspective is changing because of the different f values of these two photos. Let's also paint this over here. Okay, now the next thing that I'm going to do is start the actual post-processing of the photo. So I'm going to add the curves and make the image much more brighter and also with a much more contrast. And I also will place another tension point in the curve over here because I want to rise the starting point of the blacks. As you can see, if if you're going to look in this area, you kind of see a slightly result of this action. The photo gets a certain patina, let's say. Okay, I will add a hue and saturation and increase the saturation. Use the shortcut Alt backspace to fill the mask with black, and now paint with a brush with white. Opacity 100% because I want the saturation back in the green of the tree and in the red leaves on the ground. Okay, add another brightness and contrast adjustment layer and increase the brightness and the contrast a little bit. And if we're going to look at the original photo, now we're getting a much more 3D effect and a much more interesting effect. So this was the technique I wanted to show you for today. I hope you like it and you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel for more weekly videos. And until next time, keep on photographing. Is the only way that you can get better. Bye bye.